Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to show you how you can make a beautiful cover for your presentation slide. I'm going to show you my slide presentations, and I will also help you explain how you can make each and every slide in separate videos. In this video I'm only going to cover up the first slide, and I will show you how you can make a powerful and interactive custom graphics for your own presentation. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to press enter and make a new slide here. And then I'm going to go home and layout section, and then I'm going to add the blank slide over here. And then I'm going to show you can unpin or pin the palette for the home or insert menu in the top. Now let's copy this picture and paste it here for our reference so that we can make our diagram more beautifully and more easily. Now go into the insert section, shapes, and take a rectangle. Make a rectangle and try to make it as similar as the one above. And then once you are done, copy it and paste another one, and paste one in the center. Now you can copy one more and paste another one and put in the center. Align them in the center of the rectangle, and then remove the outlines and give them a white color. Another way to do is go to the home option, merge shapes, and then what you can do is you can combine them. Once you combine them, they become one single image. So that's another tool that you can learn in this video. Now I'm going to change the color of the graphic. I'm going to make it similar as the one used. So select them, go to fill, and change the color using eyedropper. Now put it a little bit down, and we are going to make the second part. For that, take a rectangle again from the insert option, and then you can also copy them. But I suggest you just to make one and then copy the rest. Now you can copy another image, make it smaller, and put it inside. Change the shape color to white using fill options, reduce its size, and copy another one and paste it over here. So now you are done with the down part of that block that you can see in the above picture. Now we are going to place the rectangle from the insert option and going to put it on top of this box so that it can show a pointed edge on the top. So now we are going to copy this image and paste it 2 times so that it can resemble the one above. Now let's quickly change the color, and before that let's align them together and so that they look just as similar as the one in the picture above. Now let me tell you, these graphics are custom made graphics. You can make your own graphics depending upon your own idea. So now I'm just changing the color of these graphics. The main purpose for this graphic was to resemble between a previous system and a new system using combined hydrogen system. So now I'm going to add chimneys in the background. Use the same shape as I used in my previous videos. Also, you can change the color and send them to the back. Copy them and then do the same, send them to the back. Now take another rectangle and put it down over here. Now take another rectangle, make small boxes inside, and then copy the above 2 and paste them and make them 4 together. Now you can reduce the size a little bit and align them based upon the requirements. Now let's make the rectangle which has a cut in the diagonal top position. So we are going to use this object as a shape, and we are going to give it a white color and remove the background, remove the outline. Now then we are going to select these 2 shapes, and then we are going to go to the shape format and then merge shapes, and then we are going to do subtract. The subtract option helps you merge shapes and give them a single shape and making them in one single shape. Now remove the outline for the other diagram and then select both of these diagrams, and now you can change the color. So what you can do is do the same one, do subtract into the shapes, and then what you can do is you can merge both these shapes together, and then what you can do, place them according to the one shown in the shape above, use eyedropper and change the color. Now send it to back, go to shapes, take another rectangle and make the down part. Remove the background and change the color as one shown in the above. Most of the parts are very easy to do. They're just using one simple shape and you're just pasting over here. So that's why I'm making a little bit fast over here. I hope you guys can understand. Now take the chimney as shown in the picture before. You can reduce the size here. Let's change the color for the pattern. And then as you can see the golden icon here, you can reduce the size to increase or decrease the diagonal length. Now you can copy that again and paste it over here and increase the length sideways. Now after it's done, let's work on the smoke of the chimneys. So now this image is done, send it to the background and then go to the shape options and use the colored button. You can choose the colored shape as a smoke option, remove the background, remove the outline and change the color of the smoke. You can add 2 smoke lines to make it a little bit bigger. You can copy them and then paste them here again. One way is to copy them and another way is to click on Control and drag them. That's 2 ways to copy them. I'm adding one more smoke to make it look better. Now go to the shapes, go to the icons and type grid, GRID. You can find different grid options over here. Now these are custom made, these are not custom made icons, these are the default icons in the PowerPoint Office 365. You can also make them using simple lines. Now I'm going to use arc to connect these grid with the house or with the powerhouse. Now you can see that as you use simple arc, you can increase the length of the arc to make it more prominent and to make it adjacent with the shape that we are using. Now you can copy that and paste it for this down part, and then you can send it to the background. Now copy that again and connect the other two grids together, and then similarly add one more arc, adjust the lines and connect them so that they are connected with each other. Copy this line again and then paste it downwards. Now the grid station is done. Now let's work on the other part of the diagram. Most of these diagrams are done. We are going to add another extra lines. Go to rotate and rotate them horizontally. Now simpler diagrams, as I showed you before, the procedure is same, just the shapes are different. So now let's go here and change the color of the grid and make it resemble as the one shown in the picture above. We can change the slight color from dark black to light black. Now we are going to use the shapes again. Use a rectangle shape again, and then we are going to do the similar steps that we did for the previous picture. Remember, the steps are very easy. You just need to remember that you can do a lot of things with one simple shape. I'm just removing the shape outline and adding a color that's one in the above picture. Now I'll add the color of the background picture, and then what we are going to do is we are going to do the same thing. We're going to copy it and increase the length or width of this picture rectangle. Now add another rectangle on the top of it to show it as a lid, to show it the extended part of the above diagram. You can change the color of this diagram and make it the dark blue color which is shown in the background. Now drag it a little bit down to resemble to the above picture. Now this part is done. Now let's go to the shapes and find a semicircle. Using a semicircle, it resembles like a semicircle, but it looks like a semi-cylinder. Now you can use this shape, change the color and send it to the background. Now this part is done. Easy, isn't it? Now let's just work on the remaining part of the diagram. Now most of the part is done. Copy a rectangle again and then reduce the size of the rectangle to match the one on the bottom of the top picture. Now we are going to make the red part on the top picture's bottom tank. Now let's make another box and make it smaller and change the color of this box. Now drag it down and copy similar blocks and paste in a row. Now copy these two to reduce the time for pasting, and then you can replace them, you can add them like this. Now let's work on the tank. Now we are going to reduce the width of this tank by just simply dragging with the corner of the rectangle, and then copy the same shape from the top of the first tank and then place on the second tank's top. Change the color so that it can be easier for you to recognize the shapes and the length of the shape. Now let's just copy one more shape and then reduce the shape to resemble the red patch in the top tank. Now most of the diagram is quite similar now. Let's reduce the size so that it can exactly resemble the one made in above. You can be a little bit different, doesn't have to be exactly the same, because sometimes you use different tools and sometimes you have different options. So you can be flexible and you can make as similar as you can. Don't worry if you have a different diagram when you try. You can also be more familiar with these softwares and tools as with time. So don't worry for that. It's just because that I spend a lot of time, that's why I'm a little bit used to this one. So you can also spend time and you can also learn that with time. So don't worry for that. So now the steps are really simple. Now at this point you might be able to understand, you might be able to think that how can I make the next shapes by simply using the rectangle shape. So it's quite easy. You don't have to worry for the drawings that it looks like. You can make your own drawings by just using shapes like rectangle, circle and cylinders and all that. You just need to think innovatively, and you just need to think that how can you replace that particular image with another shapes already present. Now just working on the smaller details in the background of this tank. Now mostly this part is done. Now we are going to work on the chimney on the right hand side of the red tank. Now let's just copy another rectangle shape and extend the length of the down part to a little bit so that we can cover the top part also. Now just send it to the back, change the color of this one to resemble the top one. Copy one shape more here and reduce the size a little bit, and copy another one and then paste it. Now let's take another rectangle and make the diagonal shape shown in the golden color. So place a rectangle here and then place another rectangle over here and then rotate it a little bit and then select both the images, go to shape format, merge shapes and then subtract. You can simply make this image like this. Now reduce the size of this image and then send it to the background so that it doesn't have an extra space on the front. Change the color, add two objects, copy them and paste them down also. Then align them together and see if it needs some adjustment or less space. Copy the chimney and then reduce the size a little bit, then send it to the background by just right clicking and send to the background, and then you can increase or decrease the size of the chimney depending upon your requirements. Now we are just reducing the size of the building, so we can reduce the size of the objects also. Now just adjust the chimney to make it look more presentable. Now we are going to increase the size of the background images, also reduce the size of this building, and make these blocks get closer to each other so that they can resemble the picture in the above. Now we are going to work on the smoke part. So let's copy this one over from here, then paste over here and put it on top of this one. Change the color to the one shown in the picture above. Most of the parts are done. Move this diagram a little bit to connect to the grid lines. Then now we are going to work on the last part, last building, which is the hydrogen building. I've also shown this building, shown this diagram how to make this one in my previous poster videos. If you haven't watched those videos, you can check them out. And now we're just going to remove the background and change the color. Remove the outline border and change the color of the shapes. You can simply use eyedropper and select any color that you want. That's the most easiest way you can do. Now let's copy another one and then paste this another rectangle shape in the bottom of these shapes. Let's make slight adjustments and decrease and keep it consistent from both the sides. Remove the background and see if there are some changes needed. Go to the shapes, find rectangle and place it on top of it. Remove the outline, change the color of the rectangle, adjust the size so that it can match the width of the shapes that you placed before and doesn't go outside the boundary. And then this shape is done. Now let's work on the other parts of the building. Copy the chimney again. This time you can just copy them, and what you can do is remove and increase the length of the chimney first, and then also increase the width. You can copy this one, paste on the top, and then you can adjust the size of the pattern by just using the golden button. Once you are done, you can move to the second part, and it's easier for you to manage this one. Once you are done with the one picture, you can copy and paste it similarly for the down parts. Now copy one more picture and then paste it for the down part. Extend the length to match with the width of the chimney, and then copy again, and then what you can do is bring this shape to the front so that it looks like the chimney is behind that plant. Now let's work on the smoke part. Change the color of the background, change the color of the patterns, copy the smoke lines, smoke shapes, paste it here, change the color of the shapes, and then you are done. Now let's work on this part. This chimney is a little bit bigger, so you can make these smoke a little bit bigger, so it looks like resembles that this has more smoke in comparison to one with the smaller chimneys. Now let's use the rectangle again. Now make a small rectangle from the copy from the other side and repeat these rectangles one by one. Now you can see that these rectangles are not arranged in a well-mannered order. Go to arrange, select them, go to arrange and align them in vertically, align them horizontally, and align them to the top. Now you can see that all of these shapes are arranged in a systematic order, and they are all arranged with the proper alignment. Now this part is done. Now let's find a tier shape from the shapes. I found it a little bit later because it took me some time to find the smaller shape, but I did eventually. So now you can use this tier shape, reduce the size, change the color of this shape. First, adjust the size according to the background, and so that it doesn't look too big or too small. And then what you can do is zoom out a little bit, use eyedropper to select the color, and then copy and rotate this image. Copy rectangle and paste it. Now I want this rectangle to be in the round rectangle shape. Go to the change shape option, and then you can choose any shape. So when you use change shape options, the shape will change without changing the dimensions. So that's a good tool that you can use. Now increase the length to match the length of the rectangle, combine them, and then move them a little bit up, and then adjust the space between them. Bring it in front of the chimney, and you are done. Now let's work on the back part of the background of the chimney. That's a colored button. You can use the colored shape again. Once you click it, you can put it over here, increase the size a little bit, send it to the background, change the color, and remove the background. Remove the borderline. Now once it's done, you can send it to the back. Move it a little bit to adjust so that it doesn't appear to the bottom of the shape. And then working on the small minor parts, copy the rectangle shape again, extend the length, and then copy one more time and put it to the bottom of the line, and then change the color, and most of the things are done now. So far we have managed to make our front covers graphic abstract, or you can say a graphic drawing, which represents how does the system works and how does the system moves. For example, I wanted to compare my ordinary system with a combined heat, hydrogen and power system. So that's how I made and tried to give a greener look so that it looks more better than the previous one. Now most of the parts are done. I'm just making slight adjustments so that they can match and resemble. Now I'm going to drag it down a little bit to match the other objects. Now to save time, what we will do is I'm going to make the text file for this one first. I'm going to show you how you can write the text. You can just use simple text box and write the same calibri font and increase the size. And for this one, you can reduce the size to match to make it less bigger than the previous one. Just move the picture a little bit up so that I have enough space for this one. Now let's take a circle shape. Find a circle and put it here. Remove the outline for the circle, and you can give the color of the circle as similar as the one shown in the picture above. You can also use different color as you like, but in this case we are going to use the similar pictures colors so that I can show you how you can be more exact, how you can make an exact diagram if you have some reference. But you can also make your own diagrams depending upon your own ideas, so it all depends on you. So I'm just replacing and making the text as similar as I can. I will reduce the size to adjust my text inside the circle so that it appears more has a quite enough space and doesn't make the word too bulky or too bound. I'm just copy that shape and paste it on the other hand side. I will do the same thing for this object also. Change the background color of the circle, change the circle fill color, and then I'm changing the text color and all that. Copy this text file again and then type the words which resemble to the new object, new shape, and then copy the same text which is shown in the above picture for this picture also. Now let's just select these words and adjust the size a little bit and move the shape up and down, move the text file up and down to adjust and match with the shapes that are presented on the right hand side, which is 92% of efficiency. Now you can group them, or you can select them all and move it a little bit and see where it looks good. Now as you can see, everything is done. I'm just going to copy this part of my text file so that I can reduce the time. I have done nothing in this one. I just used a simple shape and connected all the rectangles and then added text inside using a simple text box. So I'm going to move this shape to connect with this part which shows the combined heat and power, and the other part shows the power lines and the industrial faculty and the old traditional method. Let's copy the title from the previous slide to save time. Calibri font and 24 size, red color and bold. That's how you do it. Let me show you one example also. I'm going to write my name here and I will use this name text, and I will then copy or just use the format painter. You can simply increase the size to 24 font, and then you can change it to Calibri and change the color as the one shown in the tank, or you change the color from the previous slide. You can just select that, use format painter, and you can use the format painter. Select that format painter and you can just highlight and change the color that is being used in the previous slide. Now copy this text file again and then write down the name of your department and name of your university, and we are almost done. So guys, so that's how you make an front cover for your presentation slides or for your conference presentation. You can add different changes, you can add different things. You might also add small results which are the main contributions for your manuscript or for your presentation or for your project, anything that you want. So I just wanted to portray the importance of my work, which is combining all things at a single place instead of using it at different places. So that was the reason behind this video. So I hope you guys learned how to make a good attractive cover and also learn how to use different tools in this video. I will be making tutorial videos on the slide that I showed in the start of this video. If you like my video, do leave a like and comment down below, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe my channel. If you have any queries, do leave your comments down and I will get back to you. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.